My name is Holly Lee. If you just joined, I am a career coach. I've been in the recruiting industry for over 20 years. From my personal experience, there are still a lot of people reaching out to me, telling me that they have a final loop interview with Amazon all over the world. All over the world. We're not just talking about US, okay? So if anybody tells me that we're going through a hiring freeze, there's no jobs out there for you, that's bogus. I don't agree with it because the data is telling me otherwise, okay? So many of you who haven't interviewed, who are so frantic that you're applying to more jobs to get more interviewed, worse, with the same company. Mistake number one. Mistake number two, when you already haven't interviewed, because you want to do well, because you think there's no other open position out there for you, you are going to drive yourself crazy by writing down every single interview questions and trying to create answer to about 50 to 100 different questions. And number three, the biggest mistake for your on-site loop is if you don't got your story, you're not going to get a job with any employer, okay? If you don't have, at the bare minimum, 20 different stories, you cannot pass an Amazon interview specifically, okay? A lot of my clients did not listen. They go and they repeat the same story and then boom, they didn't make it. But the rate of people who did every single thing I've asked them to the finish line is 90% in VIP coaching. So I'm trying to save you time. I'm trying to save you money. I'm telling you right now that over 6,000 people get a job for free. This right here. So learn that if we are in the interview process, specifically with Amazon, but with any employer, you do not, number one, apply to other jobs because you're so antsy, you want to have more interviewed, okay? When you do that, the interviewer can see all of your activity in the internal ATS system and it will turn them off. Number two mistake, what do we not do? We are not going to be so frantic, so scattered, where you're not focused and you try to answer 5,100 questions. Don't. You just have to listen to one playlist, guys. One. Just one. This is how the 6,000 people get a job for free. It's called Amazon Leadership Principle Questions and Examples, okay? Examples, guys. If you look at my template, it's in that playlist. It's free, by the way. There's no catch. All you got to do is look at my answer. Look at how I have manipulated the STAR method, not Amazon STAR method, not somebody else's STAR method, my version of the STAR method. Look at how I was able to carve out my situation very clearly. What problem was I solving for? I'm just giving it to you. The problem I'm trying to solve for is, and what is my action plan? This is what I've done to dive deep to figure out the root cause. And because of that, because of my discovery, I was able to put a strategy together by doing this. You see where I'm going? A couple sentences. That's it, right? And the result, many of you guys have failed your interview before because you don't listen very well. If you haven't made it to your interview 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 times, start listening because everything is in this channel. When I start talking about the Amazon leadership principle and interview tips, strategies, I don't talk about them. I gave you example. All you have to do is copy exactly what I say on my template to your future hiring manager. Don't worry, I even show you how to do that. So if you're going into an interview or you have any kind of meeting, if you talk more than 1 minute, hence why I have the 1 minute rule. I have that rule because at Amazon, I was really being really hard on, okay? My executive basically said, Holly, we don't have time to read your paper. We don't have time to listen to everything that we're not interested to hear about what all these problems are. We're only interested in hearing how you execute. What do you need from us? What is the gap to fill? What is your strategy? Can you get a job if you're long-winded more than a minute? Absolutely. But you're not going to get the high offer that you want. Why is that professional? Because leaders, even I see individual contributor, they're always going to be leadership quality. So what on earth are leadership quality? Leadership quality is you're able to influence and speak concisely. Even so, if I can get a job in all these FANG companies, so could you. When you communicate, you got to be able to influence very quickly. So if you're going to give an answer, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, they're checked out. Mentally, they stop listening after 30 seconds. Let's start with some Q&A, shall we? Lynn says, hello, Jay Holly. Just wanted to check in after starting my real world. Oh, with Kindle. Yes, I remember you. Localization. Yes. Thank you for your insight. Yay. Woo. 2 job offer. You see what I'm saying? For free. Miss Lynn Wynn here got her job for free. And there's someone else earlier as well. You see that? Lynn's been showing up for several months, asking a lot of great questions, leaving me comments on my videos, and there's not a question that I don't answer. If I look for senior PM in Tempe, it's Friday. I certainly will not read a script or anything of the sort, but do you have tips on how to refer to my notes without being a distraction? That's a really good question. Okay, it's very, very simple. Here's a sticky note. You put the sticky note right next to the camera so your eyes are not going around in circles, okay? I will not put every single question on here. I will just put one thing on here, and that is called the STAR method, okay? I just want one little sticky note that says STAR, STAR method, which is what is your situation, problem you're solving for, how did you solve the problem, what is the result? Just like that. Say it out loud like that. The reason why I don't recommend anyone to, I don't want to say cheat, is that when you are looking in your notebook or eye contact, they will know. Even if you have 2 monitor, 5 monitor, they will know. Be prepared and avoid looking at your note. I'm interviewing for a customer acquisition sales specialist. You got fancy here. Other than STAR and leadership, do you have any other tips being my first interview? No, it's all about the STAR method. It's all about knowing the leadership principle. Because when you know what those leadership principles are, for example, every single one of your answers should have customer obsession, right? Meaning that in your answer, you need to be very clear. Who are you servicing? Who is the customer? Customer obsession is number 1. If I have to recommend anything, watch the customer obsession video. I talk so much about how to frame your answer with the customers in mind, why that is my number 1 top pick. Okay, my interviewer wanted to hear something similar to what he was thinking and experienced in his career. Tell me the most complex project. Does that make any sense? Of course, this is the number 1 question that all the employers should be asking you. Tell me about the most complex project you have done. Tell me about the most technical problem you have ever solved. Tell me about the biggest problem you've ever solved, even if you're not tech. They're all the same, guys. So don't overthink the question. Simply just answer the question. That's the best tip I can give you guys. How many yes do we need for software engineering on-site? You mean thumbs up? Well, preferably you need every thumbs up, right? It's very common that one person's going to be a thumbs down, but in general, it's a team decision, and people always turn their vote in the end. It's not how many yes you need, it's how many people believe that you have the appetite to learn and be successful. So that's hard for me to say how many, but in general, the hiring manager and the bar raiser have to see eye to eye, and ultimately, it is the hiring manager's decision. So if you guys wanted to ace that interview, you got to fix your branding. If you have any other question, feel free to message me directly on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and for showing up for the last few months. I really appreciate my community member. Thank you so much for spending today with me, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Be well. Create your story.